That's what we got to go for. That's our type of sponsor. Get us chairs.
Good chairs, good chairs. Those are pretty penny.
Listen, for a gaming dad like us, what do we appreciate more than a comfortable chair?
That's right.
And that's why you need the X700's.
RTS2-5 version.
Yeah.
Here's your dad.
Core gut X splitter for your for your hot takes or comfortable dads.
That's when you show like a montage of just the swiveling, just and the tilt back
Just
and
the quiet contemplation as you're rocking back and forth in this like $4,000 gaming chair.
yeah, newborn just in your arms.
So there you go. See, that's
See?
a nice touch.
Yeah.
You're killing noobs or you're spawning noobs. That's a gaming dad life.
There you go.
The adult beverages are poured, the kids are asleep. Welcome to New Dad Gaming, a show about fatherhood, gaming, and new fathers figuring out their gaming lives. My name is Trevor, and I have a 6-year-old and a 4-year-old.
And I'm Jeff. I have an 11-year-old and an 8-year-old.
So I used to have an Xbox, Jeff.
You used to, okay.
It's like, I used to have one. Now the family has an Xbox.
Oh, it's been migrated over.
Yeah, there's been a couple things that had happened. We were doing some renovations in the basement, and by way of that, just I needed to clear out my office where the Xbox had been kind of not secretly, but just like, this is kind of in Dad's workplace space. This is his new system.
Yeah.
I will say it feels appropriate. Like it's not that I adore the thing, like I'm heavy Xbox at this point, but it's the sheen's kind of come off so much in that it's not the new console. I'm sure you could relate to like the first week with your PS5, right?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Don't touch it. Like, let me scratch it first, and then it's kind of older. But yeah, I get you.
Don't breathe near it.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't look at it wrong.
Don't walk by it, really.
But that's sort of it has dawned upon me. It's like, okay, this has been fantastic, but as I mentioned on the previous shows, I mean, one of the big issues I had coming up with a Christmas gift, which was Mario Party, that's an $80 bet.
Yep.
That I hope my kid likes it. And the darn thing is that what I have with my Xbox with Game Pass is just unlimited library, unlimited games, whatever I want to play. Hey, kid, do you want to try this one? No? Doesn't matter. Just delete it. I'll get you 6 more. They're all free. What would you like to play? So, I don't know. How's that strike you? It's just the solo dad-only Xbox is gone, and the family one has come in to better serve all of our gaming needs.
Yeah, I mean, at least you're good at sharing, so that's a positive.
A month later.
I will say, like, just thinking back on what we had to do walking into like a video game rental store, and you see the wall of just unnamed video games that you probably haven't ever seen, or maybe you got one magazine and went over them, and you had to pick, and that was, a $5 bet. So yeah, if you didn't like that, I don't know, you're paying money. But now Game Pass, $5 gets you the entire wall of those games.
And I'll say this: I think like, and this isn't to shill for Xbox again. Like if you are a PlayStation person, I do think they're going to launch something next year that kind of competes. There's PS Now that kind of has it. Nvidia has a game streaming service with PC. So this isn't to say all hail Xbox, it's the best. It's more just the subscription model. I thought it would work, and it has been proven out that it works really well in a family context as far as like, hey kids, here's like an entire screen full of games. Which one jumps out at you? What do you want to play?
Right. Yeah, exactly. And it's good for them to kind of find what they want to play. My kid's a little bit different with the Game Pass, but
yeah,
we can get to that.
I do want to get... Now, one thing I'd like you to try to tempt him on.
Yeah.
Is I would like you to try to get your kid to play Totally Reliable Delivery Service.
Okay, I've heard of this one. I have not played it, but let me know.
My kids were crying with laughter. It is such nonsense in the greatest way. It's a bit akin to Humans Fall Flat.
Okay.
As far as the locomotive control, in that it's frustrating but funny. Like your limbs are kind of just flapping all over the place.
Doughy, right? Like a doughy kind of movement.
And it's asking for precision of delivery, as in don't damage this box, but also you're Gelatin Man, so best of luck.
Right, perfect combination.
Oh, so but just dumb fun. And what's really great about it too is that you're just dropped into this open world. In some ways, this could be very much like Baby's first open world, because big island, you make some money, you can then unlock missions within different spaces, but otherwise there's just boats around, there's just cars around, you got your flippy floppy tube men just jumping and japping about. Amazing. And trying to get some stuff done. Like there was an alien ship they went on. It's just constant exploration that they were doing, and every now and then we would try to do a mission. I was doing the dad thing where I was very happy for them to kind of just be off, goofing off like on the next town over. Right. While I'm trying to actually do missions and get some money.
I need some progression in this game, kids. Like, I don't have all the time in the world, so.
Well, it's the push and pull of it, because they would say something like, oh, let's unlock these missions, or let's unlock this vehicle, let's do that. And it's like, sons, that takes money, and if you don't let me deliver this damn box, I can't get any money.
Here's a life lesson.
Yeah. And you keep exploding. The best one my kid kept pulling. So, for instance, there was a mission. I'm trying to make some money. There's one mission where you have to take a highly explosive barrel,
okay,
load it onto a way too small helicopter.
That sounds great so far. Yes.
This helicopter is a riot to try to control, and then fly it across a lake. And every time I would get up about halfway, and then the helicopter would just disappear. And I would go plummeting some like 600 feet to my death, because my one son thought it was great that as soon as I left and I was in the air, to flip the switch to restart the mission.
Oh, amazing.
Which just would teleport the helicopter away from me. And then he would run off like, okay, I don't do it again. And then I'm almost there, and pop, off goes my helicopter.
Oh my gosh. All right. Well, that's great. Like, I thought he was hitting the eject button or something. You'd be popping out. Anyway, but that's close enough.
And I was getting, I mean, the real thing, what you should be trying to do is like, one of you flies a helicopter, the other person holds onto the barrel and holds onto the helicopter. That's the preferred delivery method of this explosive barrel. They give you a sense of like what type of game we're dealing with here.
Wow.
So as far as family fun, so the three of us were playing it. It was just a riot along the same lines of something like Rubber Bandits, couch co-op, right? Silly, dumb fun that like the whole family can enjoy. It was great. I suggest you and other gaming dads check it out if you can.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll have to give it a whirl just to see either the frustration that comes out of it or the laughter. Well, we'll see. A little bit of both, right?
Or the laughter. Now, speaking of that, though, how much longer do you have left on this Game Pass trial, Jeff? Anyways, you're kind of running out of time.
Time's a ticking here. We signed up for a trial for anybody joining us. I signed up for this Game Pass trial, and I think I have 3 months, but I think we're down to 1.5 now. And my son will play nothing but Minecraft.
The game he owns on how many other consoles?
Like 3 other systems. It's specifically this one because he gets both versions, but he's all about Minecraft. And I've even gone through Game Pass. When I see the announcements of just like what's coming to the PC side of things, I bookmark them just to have them come in like a kind of like in a download queue, and I'll go through them with him there because it is on his computer that he bought with his money. And I figure that, hey, let's try out these other games that exist outside of Minecraft.
That aren't Minecraft.
But he's not really interested, Trevor. He's just kind of like, no, I'm gonna play this now, and that's all I'm gonna do. So I don't like.
It doesn't bode well for unless you want Game Pass. It's just the math doesn't work out because Minecraft costs $40, I think.
Yeah, max, I think. So
okay, so that's like, let's call it 4 months Game Pass.
Yeah,
for the one game you need.
Yeah, I know. It's I don't know, unless he moves on, and I don't see that happening because he's very much into everything Minecraft, and there's a lot of stuff within Minecraft that he plays that I didn't even know about. So he has to kind of like he has to sit me down and run me through what's out there on Minecraft and what all the other servers are doing. So I don't know. He plays one specific one called Hypixel.
Yeah, I wanted to discuss this. So you were trying to explain to me that, and I was quite shocked by it. So Hypixel is a server. So this is all done within Minecraft. You join this server, and on this server is a series of highly competitive and to the tournament level, like making money level of Minecraft games. Is that correct?
Yeah, as far as my understanding from my 11-year-old, yes. So
I'm not sure how to take that, because it's just okay. Theoretically, an 11-year-old knows less than us.
Theoretically, yes.
In the Minecraft context, an 11-year-old knows much more than us.
Way more.
So according to a 11-year-old, when you say it like that, either means it's well within our comprehension or way outside of our comprehension.
Yeah, like I've tried to do some of my own research, but as far as I understand it, yeah, it's a server. It's like a Minecraft minigame within Minecraft. They have advertising within this, like kind of microtransactions are available through this. Can we call it a mod? I don't know. They say minigame, but it's not modded. So within this minigame, and he has said that this server is very, very popular, and I've looked that up. It is a lot of people on the server. I think it costs them like $100,000 to run the server per month. Wow. And they make their money off their little store, which he does not get access to that. Like that's kind of like put off on the parental controls side of things. But he has asked for like, hey, I want some money to put towards these microtransactions, because in these games that I'm playing on this server that's really competitive and people get to set up these games to have these tournaments, if you don't have certain ranks in the server, you don't have access to those options. So you can't set up the games. You're always joining the games. You don't have certain options within the games. They're all kind of like walled off. So it's very, very, I don't know. It's not predatory, but it obviously wants you to buy things, right? Like I will relate it to Roblox, and I think we already know what that can kind of come out as, but he's very much like happy playing the free tier, let's call it the free tier, but he has wanted to enter tournaments that have a cash prize, which to me, yes and no. Like it's like now I'm at a crossroads. Like he could earn some money off this Minecraft, and we could get all our Game Pass money back.
That is some pretty sweet game money.
Yeah,
and there's a lot to digest there. So for the Minecraft space, that is fascinating. That it's a game within a game, modded or just built otherwise, that people can pay. It's a microtransaction service, which kind of sucks.
Yeah.
Furthermore, not just is it a microtransaction, because obviously your kid has played within Roblox, so he's been in that environment. But the kid is asking the father here for money for the microtransaction game.
Yeah.
And like, what is the reaction? Because the one side of thing is sort of like, all right, well, you did your chores and here's your allowance, so you can put it to what you want to. Or is it the world of microtransaction is a scary and worrying one? So even though I could give you money for it, I don't really want you going down this avenue.
Yeah, it's a hard one, because like a lot of his friends, like we've been to a couple birthdays this year now that COVID's kind of lightened up, and people have asked for like Fortnite V-Bucks, right? So I kind of view it as like, okay, he's at this age where the way to extend the game is to buy these things inside the game. So I understand that. I buy DLC all the time to extend my enjoyment of a game. So I kind of relate it to that if it's more of a permanent feature, if it's something he's constantly buying, or if there's like what I don't like is like, hey, here's $10. This gives you $10,000 or 10,000 gems, and it costs you 50 gems anytime you play, right? And then it's just like quarters in an old arcade machine, which we've all been through. But like, I don't mind contributing to something if it's got like a worthwhile kind of feature set. Like if it's going to give him a lot of enjoyment for a long period or a longish period of time, I think that's acceptable. But if it's constantly renewable, I find that more like a slot machine, right? Like it's just something that you're constantly filling, and then if he doesn't get it, is he going to get upset? Like, because he'll be at some sort of level that he's used to then and can't go back down. Do you know what I mean? Like, if features are turned off, then that's a problem to me. So like that's where I'm kind of back and forth, and I've tried to do like, again, this is stepping into a whole, I am not on the Minecraft boat, so I've learned a lot from him on this stuff, but there's always like these new doors opening, and I didn't know anything about these little mini games and how they're kind of run by like just private companies and pumping out this stuff. So I don't know. Is it kind of like DLC? It is a microtransaction. That's what it is. Like,
yeah, I suppose what I wonder about, what I most worry about is consumables. So I would think with the V-Bucks and with Fortnite, the thing I would almost want to not enable in my kids, and this is kind of off the cuff. I think this is something that you and I are going to be exploring a lot as our kids kind of get older from where they currently are. Now, and I'll put this out specifically, I mean, if there's any gaming dads out there who've gone through this with their kids and consumables with games such as Roblox, Fortnite, whatever, reach out with your stories. We'd love to hear this at New Dad Gaming on Twitter or newdadgaming.com. So if it's consumable in the sense that I want to look this way, right? Like everybody has this skin or that skin, and I want to be a part of that. Like that's problematic to me because that's super temporary. That's fast fashion. That's keeping up with other kids. That's putting merit upon what you have and what you look like.
Right. Yep.
That I don't like putting money towards. If it's akin to a subscription, I know, like for instance, with Fortnite, there's the pass you get, right?
Yeah, like so the season pass kind of thing.
Yeah, I kind of get it because it's a free game, so it's like a subscription. I at some points had done a subscription with Magic the Gathering, Magic Arena,
right?
Because you got more rewards as you're playing, and I really was enjoying it, so I could connect it.
Yeah.
So that would almost make sense, and also if it's reasonable in the sense that, like, you know what, for $10 a month, harkening back to what you had said around if he really enjoys it, he's getting a lot of value from it. If it's $10 a month and it supports his development, gives him a lot more features that he wants, fine. Although there is, I guess I'd not be able to square away your concern about them going away, in so much as soon as you stop paying $10,
right,
you no longer have these.
Yeah, and then if you're paying to something that I don't think you'll ever get sick of this anytime soon. At least I can't see the end, right? The end of it. But yeah, like you said, if it's something he's going to get used to and you're constantly funneling money into it, is that okay? I don't know, because now I compare it to like MMOs where you pay a subscription to play it, right? So if that's your jam and this is the only game that you're playing, right? Like maybe that is a worthwhile investment. And in the age of kind of like donating to YouTube streamers and Twitch streamers, like this is a whole new world navigating at that kind of age that I have to kind of put myself as, you know, a parent and kind of in his shoes. What is the gaming landscape right now? Right? Because it has changed since and now before I mentioned arcades and we were pumping quarters in, you know, that's kind of the same thing, maybe on a bigger scale, but you know, to play the game, you had to feed it money. I don't know.
Yes, no, I think it's for you're paying for an experience, in so much as like going out and getting a coffee, like and sitting there. That's like you pay the $1, $2, you get to sit there, you get to experience it.
Yeah.
Because an arcade, like if you had to, even at that time, I think if you had an arcade machine and you brought it home, and the thought was like, okay, you have the machine at home now, you can just put a quarter in there every time you wanted to.
Right.
That rings a bit different, right? It was like, I think in many ways it was the experience of the arcade.
Yes.
That money was also kind of going towards. So I feel like that kind of harkens to your MMO comparison, which is probably about the most apt here. Where if this is your jam and this is what it takes to play, and it's within reasonable costs. Because again, if this is like $100 a month, you best be winning a lot of tournaments.
You gotta be pulling in that kind of money. I don't know. Yeah.
So.
It's this. Get ready, man. I don't know. This is coming fast and furious now. I thought I knew a lot about this kind of gaming world that he's stepping into, but there's just new curveballs each time. So
yeah, not to throw shade at any of the parents or anything like that, but are his friends currently paying? Does he have friends that are paying for these features that he wants to enjoy?
Yes. And therein lies some of the peer pressure, right? When we've talked to him about that. Again, if you're playing any other game and people have cosmetics or something that they paid for, you want in on that. And it's hard to play with the other people that, again, they lock off features to this portion of the game. So if you can't play with somebody that's on the highest tier or they've paid for that, then you're sitting, and he chats with them all the time. Over Google Chat or whatever, and links up with them in these servers, but he can't get to some of the games they have access to. So, yeah, now there's peer pressure in there too. So it's just kind of this, maybe we experiment a little bit with it, you know, buy it for kind of a little run and see what happens when he comes off it. And if it's like he's chomping at the bit to get back, we have to kind of see what that looks like. Just so it's not, I don't want to say everything's addictive, but I don't want him to get like used to just paying for that. But again, MMOs, it's not, it's the game he plays. It's the game he wants to experience. So it's a brand new world for me, Trevor. I don't know. Come to my world, my Minecraft server.
It is dicey waters, and I think it's pretty safe to say that we don't have a lot of answers to this, because this is your kid is now the first of ours to experience it. So, yeah, I think the words you're maybe trying to reach for is like you don't want to accustom him to paying into deceptive monetization practices.
Right? Yeah, absolutely.
Pay to play, play to win. And I'll say that, and especially if it's like pay to win, that's garbage. But I don't think that's what this is necessarily.
No, this is just supporting a mini game that he really enjoys, and it's aged, so it's not going to be a flash in the pan where it's like somebody started up a server 1 month and I got your money and then it shuts off. This has been going on for 8 years, this server. So, and it's really popular, so it's not going away. They make lots of money from it. So, it's that side of things too. If he researches it and comes back with like, business case, some PowerPoint slides, we can make a decision.
I like your angle around, like try it. And I think the communication as far as this is what's going to happen. We are going to try it. Let's see how it goes a couple months. Here's my concerns as a dad.
Yeah.
You become addicted, or like we never able to stop, or we always have to pay, or you get upset when we can't pay, or blah, 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 X, Y, Z. Or it affects schoolwork or whatever else.
Yeah.
Or you don't make enough money from tournaments.
This is your quota. You need to meet it every month. So
the Cobra Kai, let's do this. We don't lose.
You need to go get 2-3 friends to sign up below you.
Great. Ponzi scheme, just what you want.
Yeah.
All right. That is absolutely fascinating. And again, the gaming dads listening, if you have any experience with your kid getting into their first pay-to-play type of situation, would love to hear some advice, because this is there's going to be some interesting conversations to have in the coming months as your kid kind of delves into it.
Sure will be. I don't know.
You're a trailblazer, buddy.
That's great.
Now, I will say that what I'd like to talk about is this next story starts off with a sad part, but ends with a very interesting conversation that links back to our youth. So quietly and specifically, there is unfortunately, you discovered that your youngest is unable to play games on the road. So no Game Boy in the back seat as you're driving across country.
No. And the reason being is because he will throw up.
I see.
So it's not
fun for the whole family.
Yeah. It's not out of like, hey, he can't handle it, or he's hitting his brother or something. It is he gets motion sickness. So we've tried that. We had our last road trip was like a 3-hour road trip. He tried to game a little bit, did not work out, got really motion sickness. We had to stop multiple times. So we had to wipe it. Like, he can't look at screens while driving. And that, to me, as a gaming dad, I loved, I loved having the Game Boy in the back, just cuddled up, playing against even, like, my brother. And it was just, like, that kind of moment, like, road trip. You got all the games. You're settled. You don't have to worry about anything. And that's kind of taken away from him a little. Like, his older brother can play. And even that can be, like, why can he play and I not? Well, it's because you paint the back of my chair with your breakfast. So he understands. He's just obviously disappointed and a little bit frustrated. And again, as a gaming dad, it's just like, oh no, like, I don't know if he grows out of this or what happens, but it is a consistent thing that happens. So he does get motion sickness, gets really unwell with any kind of screen. So I'm at a loss. I don't know. It sucks.
Yeah, it's too bad. God, those backseat. I remember having the Game Boy attachment, the original Game Boy, but this is where it didn't have any backlit screen.
Yes.
So this attachment was the bulkiest, massive thing that you would plaster onto the top of it to shine light on the screen so you could keep playing.
Yeah.
Yeah, those long road trips were just like it's it almost became a sense of joy. Like, we're going on a long road trip. Woo!
Yeah.
Game Boy!
Yeah.
We're going to do it. And because it was all double A's, you never worried about running out of batteries. You just had, 12 ready to go. Let's rock it.
It would last forever. And then I remember the light attachment didn't work all the time, so I'd have to lean into the street lights, right? Every time that they would go by, and you'd just play. Right. And yeah, no, it's that experience. And he's not going to miss out completely, but it's just like, oh, no. Yeah, that was like, my comfort. That was good.
That was the best.
That was awesome. Yeah.
That's too bad. So hopefully it passes, or perhaps there's like some reasonable, non-harsh medicine that could be taken to kind of help out. Because man, road trip and gaming was the best.
It was.
So the tangent that this led into is that for road trip, I had found a video of American Truck Simulator.
Yes.
Which it's a whole separate conversation. Maybe we can get into that someday. If gaming dads want to reach out to us and explain to us the benefit or the joys they get playing this game, I'd love to hear it. It's certainly an interesting pastime for some gamers. But more to the point, specifically within Canada, and I think there was an American cousin, was a game called Cross Country Canada.
I loved it.
So gaming dads, like, reach back into middle school, or even younger, like, reach back into video games on those archaic yellow machines that you had at your school.
Yes.
And recall, if you will, like this super old trucker one where, like, the thing that might spark your memory that did it for me was that if you don't, you can stop off at the side of the road to sleep, because you have to have sleep. It tracks all this thing. This is a DOS game. It is super pixelated. It looks exactly as you imagine when I say DOS game. And for instance, if you have a tired meter, you can't just drive forever, otherwise you'll cause a crash. You point in a certain city and the truck just drives itself. You just have to take care of yourself, sleeping, amount of gas, everything else. If you sleep and don't lock the truck specifically, your stuff gets stolen. Do you remember this? Like,
it's like life issues, right? You're like, what is this game? This is amazing.
Am I ringing bells, Jeff? Like, so you remember this game too? This isn't just a fever dream.
Oh no, this brought back so many memories of just being in, I think it was grade 7, and you got to earn time on those computers that sat at the back of the class. If you were done early, done all your work, you got to play this game, Cross Country Canada. And like you said, it was amazing just watching the screen of the dotted pavement of you just moving down the country, and you had to type in instructions on what to do, and the computer would recognize whatever those terms were, at least some of them, and you would have to kind of go you would live life on the road. And now looking back on it, you're like, wow, I was glued to this thing. And really, you're just looking at like depletion of fuel and your tired meter and typing in commands on basic life things, and I loved it.
Oh my goodness, I just saw something with a hitchhiker. And your ability to pick up hitchhikers.
Yes, and you had to turn your lights on at night. Like, there is so much to it. It was such a great, genius game teaching you, I don't know, not all the life skills. I don't think you get robbed every time your truck is unlocked, but...
I suggest, if this is ringing a bell, I really suggest gaming dads go to YouTube and find it. Just look up, Cross Country Canada or Cross Country United States, DOS, PC. Because to see the screen is just to harken back to that. And what I find more amazing, though, is I think it's kind of akin to the previous conversation with the competitive Minecraft. Because you think about what Minecraft was and then what those people did, Hypixel,
right,
to create this crazy competitive new game within it. Right. So the creativity of game developers. And what's amazing about this truck one as we're watching it is the amount of game that they shoved into DOS.
Yeah.
Like flat screens, text-based, 4 colors, and somehow, I think you and I both, hours playing this thing.
Very addictive. And again, like you said, it was just a basic concept that they injected enough of that creativity into it and enough variety, really, to just entertain your little mind for hours at a time. Maybe not hours in class, but again, over the week, you were rushing to play this game. At least I remember, was rushing to play this game because you were kind of... we had in-class competition too, right? Like, how far could you get before you had to end and give it up? So what city did you make it to? So I loved it. I don't know. Everyone needs to check out the video because I think anybody that kind of remembers it, the memory will be jogged for sure.
Yeah, it would be really good too is if we can at some point take on a challenge to force our kids to play this.
Oh yes. Yes.
I would love to see just how, and tell you what, it's even like I will tell you what, Jeff, this is how you do this.
Okay.
You want money for your Minecraft Hypixel.
Right.
Okay. You are to complete one mission in cross-country Canada, this old DOS trucking simulator. And if you do that, if you successfully complete a mission, I will pay for a month of your Hypixel connection.
Right. Yeah.
I would adore to see our kids trying to deal with this game.
I mean, that has to be just, filmed because I'm sure the first question would be like, where's the controller? What do you mean? I don't control the truck.
You have to type. Oh my God. Sorry. Yeah. The last funny thing is I'm seeing this stuff going by. You're driving a semi truck, or sorry, a transport truck.
Yeah.
It's like you fill up the truck with gas. It costs $10. You continue. Just like, okay.
And that's it.
Yeah. Which era is this from? Hey?
Yeah.
$10.
Right. Oh my gosh.
All right. On that note, we'll wrap it up for the week. Hey, gaming dads, if you remember Cross Country Canada or Cross Country United States, give us a message. Would love to hear some stories of playing that game. If you have recommendations for Jeff and his newfound competitive game playing son on the Hypixel Minecraft circuit, or just how about he should handle the son's desire to get into this kind of pay to play type arena, certainly we could learn a lot from experienced gaming dads. And otherwise, if you just have show notes or other ideas, we'd love to hear from you. You can reach us at our Twitter at NewDadGaming. You can find us at our website, newdadgaming.com. Would love to hear from you. Otherwise, if you like the show, we would love you to subscribe. We're on all the major podcasting networks. You can find us on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play, anywhere. Just search for New Dad Gaming. Would really appreciate a subscribe, and especially if you would leave a rating and a comment. That helps out the show tremendously to showcase it to as many gaming dads as possible. Everybody, thank you so much for listening. This has been New Dad Gaming. My name is Trevor, and I have a 6-year-old and a 4-year-old.
And I'm Jeff. I have an 11-year-old and an 8-year-old. And just remember, just because you became a dad
doesn't mean it's game over.